It's just a little place. A place off the coast of Southport, North Carolina. It's just a speck on a map, a grain of sand in all of the universe. But yet, it's here. Within its shores, you'd find seagulls, egrets, and even a protected species or two. And upon this speck, this tiny universe of an island, you'd find a little place called Mojo's on the Harbor. It's all quiet now. Most of the visitors have gone home for the season, patiently waiting for summer to call and beckon for them to come again. But even if the place looks empty, it's not. If you just take the time to look around, you'd see them. Dollar bills wherever the eye can see. Hard-earned dollar bills. But not just dollar bills as we know them. For each of them has a story, a heart, a soul. But it wasn't always this way. There was a time when there was just one. A time when a man named Brooke bellied up to the bar and placed a single dollar bill upon a wall. And in a way, he never left.
Brooke Williams was one of the most unique and wonderful people I've ever been lucky enough to know. Just all heart and laughter. Yeah.
Brooke was a really interesting man, a great storyteller, very funny, always had nothing but positive things to say. So, you know, he was a good friend, and we miss him.
I've never known a man so fascinated by things, so interested in so many things, and so brilliantly smart, so eloquent. It was a gift to know him.
I mean, I sat out on the deck with him one day, and we ended up talking about adopting penguins and bringing penguins to Bald Head Island. So, I mean, that's where the way his mind worked. It was like, we should adopt penguins, he says. You know, they're cold all the time. We need to bring them to Bald Head. And I was like, Brooke, where did that come from?
Just a nice man. Just a really gentle, kind, nice man who sometimes you're just lucky enough to know someone like that. And I was.
To truly understand Brooke and his wall, you would have to understand the island itself. A peaceful and soulful place where days are measured in moments, not just minutes. A place that rejoices in the little things and embraces all the magic that nature brings.
Certain people are just drawn to find it. It's a funny name. It's Bald Head Island, you know? I mean, you travel up and down the East Coast, and there's no place like it on the East Coast. There is nowhere that you can get out and walk 8 miles and not see a house along the beach. That doesn't exist anymore, but we have that.
Some of the most beautiful scenery I've seen around here. At night, you know, around 7:30, you know, the sun sets, and if you go off of, you know, South Beach, and you know, you see it, it's one of the most beautiful sunsets I've seen.
You notice the tiniest, most minute change in the flowers and the trees. As my friend Judy says, it feeds your soul. There are people who come to this island and it just feeds your soul. And I felt that. I felt at home the moment I got here. In most of the world where you gather around people who are like you. Here, partly because it's so small, partly because there aren't that many of us, you get to know and experience and really love people who are very different from you. If you're sick, people sign lists to bring you food or to take you to the doctor or to help you out. You don't find that anywhere else. It is such an incredible community.
It's this sense of community that brought Brooke Williams to this restaurant upon the water, to this little gathering place with dollar bills for walls. It was a crisp October afternoon when he and his wife Noni stopped by just to wish their friends the best.
It was just a gesture of, good luck. This is I want your first dollar to be up on the wall and I want to sign it. And that's all it was. There was nothing, no one had any idea that this would develop.
The dollar bills have become an art form. And as you go around and look at them, some of them are just truly, truly beautiful. And I love that too. People express themselves.
It's not the dollar bills themselves that make this wall so important. It's the memories and the stories that lie beneath. It's a collective celebration of life's moments that create the soulful fabric of these walls.
A gentleman came in about 1.5 years ago with 4 of his friends, and he said, I have lung cancer. They've given me probably 6 months to live. And they had a wonderful party, and he filled out a dollar bill. And he came in 1 year later, and he said, the lung cancer's gone, and I'm still alive. I just want to reach out to people and hug them when something like that happens. I mean, we've had our own tragedy. We lost some grandchildren, and that's Mojo's is named after our grandchildren, Morgan and John. And so when I hear a story like that, it just touches my heart.
I can't mourn their death, I can only celebrate their life. And I miss them beyond anything I can possibly express. And my sadness is deeper than anything I can possibly express, but I can only celebrate their lives. And I think part of what we want Mojo's to be, and maybe it's becoming, is a celebration of all of our lives.
I had one gentleman come in last fall, and he said, I had to put a dollar bill up because I'm getting married in 45 minutes, and I want to put a dollar bill up before I get married, and I also need 2 shots of tequila.
Well, one little boy came up to me one day and he said, this is really good about this. Again, this big. If you ever go bankrupt, you have all these dollars to fall back on.
It's a long time story. You do have other bars that kind of do the dollar bill thing. But I think the story behind what we're doing is what makes ours so unique.
Like all the dollar bills that grace the spaces on these walls, there's more to the story here than meets the eye. There's always a story within a story. And like all good stories, there's a reason for being. And without Brooke Williams, there'd be no story, or reason, or wall at all.
Whenever we have this completely full, we can't fit any more dollar bills out there, we're going to donate it to cancer research. Unfortunately, Brooke Williams passed away from cancer. Around that time, that's when we created the wall for Brooke Williams.
When people hear about the dollars being dedicated to Brooke in pancreatic cancer, they'll put up dollars for friends of theirs who've died. It means something to them. It's not just it's not just dollars. It's a way for us to remember them and to talk about them and to talk about the wonderfulness about them and how lucky we were to have whatever time we did. That's all we can have, you know? This brief moment of time where somebody special comes through and just lights your life for a little while.
In spirit, you know, he's definitely here. You're talking about the first person to come in here and support them. You know, you're talking about every time somebody asks us, you know, why are the dollar bills up, his name comes up. So essentially, he is, you know, a part of the restaurant.
When I come in and see these, I think about Brooks. Every day when I walk in here, when I see the dollar bills, I think about him. It's always a reminder that, thanks, Brooke, this is, you started this. And the days when I'm trying to put 20 of them up and my thumb starts bleeding from pushing those tacks in, it's, Brooke, you're responsible for this today.
He still makes my life a little bit better every day. Because we think about him, and we talk about him, and he has become sort of an introduction to me, for me, to other people. It's a story. Stories are good.
Stories are good. So if you ever find yourself in this little corner of the Carolinas, on the crystal sands of Bald Head Island, take a moment or two and place a bill upon a wall. Say hello to John and Andrea and Gordon. They'll all be here, waiting, just like Fred and Ingrid and Jolie, and of course, Brooke. You know he'll be here. After all, good friends, good people, and good souls never truly leave. They're just with us, always.